Hey, Kristian from Tri Specific here, and today I wanted to just give you a quick little rundown how to really achieve the things that you want to achieve. And I want to talk about three things in my life that I essentially became obsessed about, and how I brought them to realization. Right? And some people want to say manifest it, and some people think that's woohoo bullshit. But at the end of the day, there's some steps to take, and I want to tell you the three things. And three of those things were, at one stage in my life, I was hell-bent on becoming a professional snowboarder. I went from a rugby league, wanted to be playing professionally rugby league and doing rep football and all that stuff. And you know, at the end of the day, it came down to politics, and I really wasn't prepared for that at the amount of work I did when I was, all the way through my life up to 16 years old. And I got to the snow the first time, and I loved this single sport thing because really it was just up to me. And I found it was, I skated pretty much all my life and did a bit of surfing, and found that I was actually quite good at it, and looked at the guys that were doing well and were sponsored, and I was like, I can do that. And I literally became obsessed with it. I couldn't stop thinking about it over and over and over, and I thought about it all the time, and I put myself in a situation to practice the craft, and guess what? Eventually it happened. I became a pro snowboarder. And I've told stories about how I screwed that career up, and mainly, injuries, and then let my own head get in the way. And that's what stopped a pretty badass career as a snowboarder. But I took those lessons on into triathlon and what I do today. And sometimes I fall away from that, and you could say unlearn the lessons, and then we get brought back into reality and go, I learned that before, I've got to take that on board. Unfortunately, the mind, it can, or what we call, or some people call, the monkey brain, can work really hard against us, and we've got to be careful of that. So that's a different story, but that was one thing. So becoming a pro snowboarder was one of the things that I really, really wanted to get, and I got. The next thing, and yesterday was our 12th wedding anniversary, and that was that has been a huge thing. We've been together a lot longer than that, but yeah. And do you know what? Charlotte, that was one of the things that I desperately wanted to get her to go out with me. The courting process took a very, very long time, and it's kind of full circle. We're back in Canada. We haven't been back to Banff where we met, but we became friends, and I really focused and did everything I could do to have Charlotte essentially become my wife, and I manifested that reality. And there's a lot of things I did, and again, literally, I thought about it often. I was pretty well obsessed, smitten maybe, but I thought about it all the time, right? And again, I did the things that led to that outcome, and there was many things. And then the third thing really was, we got into this sport of triathlon, and my appetite for learning and doing things, and my background, I had to know as much about this sport as I could, and it took me a long time to actually get it and break it all down and learn how to get the results that I exactly wanted. And unfortunately, I didn't look. There were some things I took from those lessons, getting those two things, but it took me a while more on reflection about how to do that. But when I really wanted to get to Hawaii, I wanted to qualify for Kona, and at first I was a hell of a long way off, absolutely a long way off, and it was like, wow, all right. But my ex-professional athletic career, I'd always been, I put my mind to something and I can be pretty good at it, and with a lot of hard work. And I struggled in those early days of triathlon. Like, if I look at it, I started in late 2002, and it took me to 2007 to really put it together and get the results that I'd worked so hard to achieve. And you know what? if I look at it again, I thought about it often. I thought about getting to Kona. I did the work, I did the actions, and eventually I got there, right? So they're the three things in my life that have so many similarities, right? And I bet you have things in your life that match up with this. So I want to tell you, and you can go and read all the self-help books in the world, right? And they may or may not help you, right? But at the end of the day, here are some things, and I want to give a caveat to this, and I'll give that after, because this can go snowball out the wrong way. But for the most part, it won't. It'll work really, really well, and but I'll give that caveat in a bit. And the first point of getting what you really, really want, what you desire, is specifically to just decide. Decide what it is with clarity that you want. So I was pretty clear I wanted to become a pro snowboarder. I was pretty clear that I wanted to get Charlotte. Damn clear. And I was really clear that I wanted to get to Kona. I wanted to get to the big dance, so to speak. And obviously there was some goals in triathlon along the way. For me, it was break 10 hours, like so many people have that goal. And I thought of the athlete that I could become when I applied myself. So I decided what I wanted, and I committed to those outcomes, right? And then I thought about it a lot. Like it's an obsession. It was an obsession. All of those three things were an obsession, and I just thought about it all the time. Now, the key is you can't just think about something, sit in a chair, think, and all of a sudden, a la The Secret, you're going to manifest that shit out of thin air. It doesn't quite happen like that. You need to have clarity on what you want. Then you just need to think about it a lot, and you need to become obsessed with it. But you have to action it and put the things into action to allow that to happen. And those are really the steps to getting what you want in anything, right? Have clarity on what it is, think about it a hell of a lot, essentially become obsessed with it, and take the actions that lead you there. Learn the lessons along the way. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be all those things that trip you up. But if you really desire it enough, you'll walk through walls to get it. Now, the caveat is no matter what the goal, getting to Hawaii, breaking a certain time area, winning your age group, no matter, or, can be anything in life, earning lots of money, having the dream job, doing whatever, living where you want to live, it all works the same, right? The caveat is that whatever the goal, whatever the achievement, it doesn't define the person you are. It makes up a part of you, the journey of your life and the person you are. But, getting to Kona doesn't define that you're a great person, right? Or winning your age group, or breaking certain, an hour time. It doesn't mean anything. You can take some self-worth from it, right? Definitely build yourself up. You're going to become more confident. But sometimes, we don't reach necessarily that end goal. We go so far, and, sometimes we can't. Like, let's say, not everyone wins an Olympic gold medal, right? But it doesn't mean you're not a champion. It doesn't mean you haven't put in the effort, and it doesn't mean that your self-worth should be dependent on becoming an Olympic champion, or becoming a Kona Ironman age group world champion, or world champion, or top 10, or placing in your age group, whatever the goal is, right? It makes up part of who you are, right? But back your self-worth and confidence on the actions you've taken to get towards that goal, not just on the realization of the goal, because you will realize way more than you thought was possible, right? But take the self-worth from the actions you take in the day-to-day to help you launch forward towards your goal. So that's the caveat, right? You are, as a person, your result doesn't define the person you are, right? Think about that, because that can eat you up and remove the fun from what we're trying to to do. And I guess that's a part of it as well. We have to have fun. Everything works better when we're actually enjoying it. Yeah, there's going to be times where it sucks. There's going to be parts of the process that sucks and we don't enjoy. That's life, right? But those times and those things that we have to do make all the other stuff more rich, more enjoyable. So that's it. Go get what you want. I'm using it for other areas of my life in what I want. We wanted to come to Canada. We want to stay here. So I've become obsessed about it. We've done the actions. We're doing the things. We think about it a lot, and it'll happen, right? So, and there's other things with business, with athletic endeavors, and having fun. Decide what you want. Get clear on it, right? Think about it often. Become obsessed with it. Again, it doesn't define who you are. Think about it often, do the actions, and you'll get what you want. So, little tip for today, and I'll come back with another video shortly. And this is Kristian from Tri-Specific, and as always, here to help you out in your triathlon endeavors. So, I hope you got something out of that, and I'll be back in a couple of days with another video to help you move forward and get where you want to get in this sport.